So we've got Kevin with us. Kevin, real quick, if you would, just give us your name, who you're with, and what you do.
So I'm Kevin Hardy. I'm with Terramark Geospatial up in Metro Atlanta. So we cover, you know, broadly Metro Atlanta,
Okay.
but we also cover the Southeast as well. So
Yep.
just pretty much everything that you can imagine in surveying, we can provide for any of our customers or clients in the
Nice.
Southeast.
Cool. Do you guys have like a niche business line that you're really good at, or are you just good at everything?
Yeah, we kind of moved out of the residential market
Yep.
for
Good
the
for you.
downturn. We our firm is about 40 strong right now, but right before the downturn, I think we cut down to 9.
Wow.
So
Really?
so
Interesting.
we've brought that back up, and but we do not do residential. It's basically just private
Sure.
and commercial
Yeah.
real estate. Yep.
So you're here at TUC. So obviously you guys do a bunch of scanning, I'm assuming.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
talk about that, like kind of what the applications are that you're applying scanning to, and how that is just burped.
Well, we did just finish lunch.
Just finished lunch.
Well, why don't you take a step back too? When did you start? Talk a little bit about the transition to starting. When did you start
That's a
scanning?
great question. So, I'm as you saw, I'm a GS
Yep.
IP
Yep.
or a GIS.
GISP, yep.
Yep. And so I was out at San Diego at the Esri conference
Okay.
and ran into a Regal representative, which was presenting his hardware along with TopoDOT software.
Gotcha.
And it was all Bentley based, right?
Yep.
So we were a Bentley based shop to begin with. So I go, oh, that's what we need.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
This makes
I don't
sense.
have to transition,
Yeah.
like learning a different CAD system, all this stuff, and it just fit.
Uh-huh.
So immediately I came down to Orlando, met with Ted, met with the Regal guys, and then it all just kind of came together.
Together. Yeah.
So we've been doing it since 2014. We started with a VZ400, moved to the VZ400i. Now we got the 600i.
Yep.
And then we just purchased our first aerial LiDAR system, which is I can't remember the name of the birds that we got, but they're really big.
Yeah.
I do know that. And then we got a Velux One.
So you're mounting that on your drones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got a good sized drone then to carry that payload. And where does TopoDOT fit into your workflow?
It's a everyday workflow that we use for primarily just about every project almost. I mean, anything that has parking lots and curb and things like that, we primarily scan. And it's based upon safety mostly.
Yep.
And I will give a snapshot into that. In 2016, after we kind of got up and started and running this thing, we were working on a new highway interchange close to where the new Brave Stadium is. And they call that interchange between 75 and Windy Hill. And I was putting out targets for the scanner.
Yep.
And got ran over.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trying to be safe.
Yeah. Dude, how lucky are you?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's taken quite some time to recover from that, but so I truly know the value of what this technology does for people, especially surveyors in the field.
Yeah.
And it's to keep them safe, especially if they don't have to move targets around.
Yeah. Yeah. You know that firsthand, unfortunately.
So Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, we use it every day. I mean, I got basically 3 guys that do extraction work for me.
Mhm.
I do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just depends. And then we have had contracted with other firms to do aerial LiDAR with us, and that's one of the ones that we kind of absorbed, but we do a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, TopoDOT is the tool.
Absolutely. Yeah, no question. So I'm curious, you said you have like 3 people that work for you that just primarily do extraction, right?
Right, yeah.
What were their backgrounds before they got introduced to this technology?
They were surveyors.
They're
as well.
surveyors. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So they had
Yeah.
that background as well. Do you think that's necessary, or do you think you can,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, do you think you can take somebody who is a non-surveyor and teach them TopoDOT and
Not immediately.
it just take a little bit longer?
I think that they need to be in the field for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
Just to
I get that.
kind of
yeah.
get the baseline of what we're trying to capture.
Yep.
Understanding contour intervals, break lines, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
but I don't think you can just jump right into it. But there's a little bit of background that you'll need to, achieve.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that extraction work, you starting to integrate some AI to help with that? Are you using that at all? I know that's the buzzword around, and
I've been talking to these guys. They're kind of spread out, and they're a company called Mach 9.
Okay.
Have y'all heard?
I haven't heard. No, I don't think so. What do they do?
They're an AI extraction firm.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, write that down. I've been trying to do some like beta testing and stuff like that with them guys.
Yeah.
They're definitely not there yet.
Yeah.
But they have the foresight.
You've got the vision for it.
Yeah.
It's going to get there.
It's gonna.
There's no doubt about it. And when
sure.
it does, that is going to be an absolute game changer.
Yeah.
Because right now, obviously, scanning saves a ton of time in the field, but typically requires more time in the office. So if we can figure out a way to cut down that office time, and maybe that's going to be with AI, I mean, yeah, be unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and as being a surveyor, you question everything, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Like when I use Regal products, like I get reporting out the tail,
Yeah.
and that proves everything that's good.
Yep.
And that's why I went with Regal. Their reporting is just so well done.
So does that mean you get to a question less with Regal?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're seeing your accuracies and all that stuff charted out, throughout the registration process, it makes everything so much more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, the synergy between Regal and TopoDOT is pretty seamless.
Yeah,
They've
sure.
got that dialed in.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah.
Given Ted's background.
Yeah. So here at TUC, is this your first one?
No,
been here a
I've
bunch.
been here quite a few times.
Quite a
Are
few
you even
times.
learning anything new these days?
Or are you just here for the
Or
fun and
if you're here for the food and happy hour?
I've been kind of ducking into some of the classes just to see if there's anything that I need to pick up on.
Sure.
So,
You can always learn something, right?
yeah,
Always.
I'm far beyond that. I want to learn something every day. So,
Yeah. Exactly. Talk about TopoDOT's like support. I know that's something they take a lot of pride in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how that works for you.
Yeah. So Mari is like the end all be all of the fixing stuff or coming up with a solution.
Patches and whatnot. Yeah.
So is Cook. I'm trying to remember his name.
It's not Mike, is it?
Mike.
Mike,
Mike. So like the first time, we got started with TopoDOT, I had to come down here for a week
Yeah.
and do training,
Yep.
you know, and so those guys kind of took me under their wing, even Jennifer as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I sat in their little conference room and trained for
Yeah.
a week, you know, and they taught me all little different things and stuff like that. But if I ever had a question or a problem or anything, like they were back to me in no time.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, they know if one question is going to come,
Somebody else is going to ask it.
it's going to come
Yeah,
from
right.
somebody else. So
Yeah.
might as well nip it in the bud and
Yeah.
be done with it. Right. So they do a great job at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know that's something that Ted takes a lot of pride in. And,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you always hear people talk about how good the tech support side of TopoDOT is for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's been your most exciting or your favorite scanning project that you've done? If you had to pick one.
Well, we've been involved with several big projects up in Atlanta area, and probably the first biggest project that we did was the Turner Field project. So, the Atlanta Braves were getting ready to move out of Turner Field to build the new stadium complex, the Battery. So Georgia State was the purchasers of that property. And the developer hired us to come in and map the entire stadium.
Interior as well?
Interior, everything.
Dang. That'd be a massive model, a massive point cloud.
And I got it on my YouTube streaming, so you can look at that that video that I created for it. I can show it to you later, but and then after that, we started doing the Battery, which is the new Braves.
Yeah.
And so we started from the beginning in 2013, you know, just doing regular topo surveying, you know, and then we moved into construction and started doing as-built on the stadium and all that stuff. So, and it was just a huge bucket of data that we were able to mine from for years and years and years.
Crazy.
You know.
Yeah.
So I would say that's
that's
probably
a big
my
project.
bigger ones.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's how did you manage all that data?
A lot of hard drives.
A lot of hard drives, huh?
Really?
Yeah. For just those projects.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
Crazy. So does like TopoShare, now that there's TopoShare, would TopoShare be a tool that you would utilize for something like that?
I'm not a 100% like understanding how all that works yet.
Yeah, it's pretty
I know
narrow.
that I talked to Ted yesterday. He was kind of going over it. But I think there's definitely an avenue there that we would be able to bring that in and use it. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
especially having as many users that we do at our office and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like it might be something you guys could incorporate into the workflow for sure. It's a great idea. You know, that's Ted for you.
Right.
Always thinking outside the box. What else, Kevin? Before we let you get out of here, anything else you wanna share?
I don't know.
It's been a great conversation.
Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, one last question. What do you like most about the geospatial business?
For me, it's the non-repetitive.
Something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you never know what to expect from day to day.
That's for sure.
I don't like. I mean, I don't like to eat the same food every day. I don't like to drink the same drink. I don't, you know, and I just like the mixture of the different, you know, things that are happening day to day. So,
Yeah. Organized chaos, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hey,
It's awesome.
thank you so much for your time. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
it. Enjoyed talking to you, and have a good rest of the conference.
Yeah. We'll see you around.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Kevin.
it.
Thank you.